Welcome back to the Hopium Den. Let's get high. Alright, I did a touch of base management, but not much. We're on to the new week. Really the one big thing I realized, and I'm not going to make this move now, but my alchemists are all trash. Have been for a long time, haven't had good options. But actually in the apprentice, this guy, Guido, is pretty good. Over 50 intelligence, blacksmith skill at 41. So theoretically, within a year and a level or two, he would be pretty good. I'm not making that investment right now because my base is pretty close to like being max capacity for everything. Just something I noticed and something to keep an eye on if you're having a hard time getting like a good archer or alchemist. Ooh, he hatched. Let's take a look at him here a second. That's exciting. Okay, got some fire. Good bite against humans. No fear of humans. I like that. Kind of mediocre stats, but none of the guys were leveled up. That's exciting. Ooh, what do we want to do now? Let's sell ourselves. Let me just make sure none of these are phenomenal now that I actually get to see them. I mean, 67 and 9 is pretty darn good. But again, it's just normal energy steel. It's not greater. He ended up with some poison bite. Fearless flawless with shock bite. These guys are gross. Why is just their head a different color? Yuck. Alright. And then we've got one cell up here. Oh, he looks cool. Look at how long and skinny he is. Yeah, so definitely they all are getting better bite strength, but that's just because we're at that generation. I'm going to stay true to my game plan and just sell all these cells. Okay, maybe I gotta take a look at that. Why am I being offered 700 for that female cell? Ah, the Fearless Flawless. They're worth a lot of money, those traits. I guess maybe we want a fire extract at some point, and this is why my inventory keeps getting too full. Alright, Flawless. You're not much good, because I think this next Fearless Flawless should be better anyway. Alright, quick base management. So this is going to go up 9, that puts me at 32. We're only healing off 30. Let's get that down. Go there. 7, 30, 30. Alright, let's go down a little bit. Okay, good. Cell's good. Reptile hybrid, I really just like how he looks. Alligators are garbage. These are just alligator combos for fun. Back to the breeding grind. Now that we have the Fury Protector, maybe we instantly breed that with the female row, because then these would be all 3 traits I want on my tank. Yeah, I like this. I'm probably going to need to be over 50. It's a mammal and reptile. We just have a bunch of these weak ones. Alright, 2 it is. I didn't really want to use 2. I mean, I could do this and just really focus on breeding off the abomination. That's not the end of the world. Make him even more abominated? I don't really think so. I mean, that one's not tons of side effect, but added to this, it gets pretty ugly. If we threw a pair of these in, they'd be under 50. So they'd be at 75. This combo, they're going to be at 86. Ew, that's a lot. That's a lot of abomination. I don't think it's worth doing that alteration potion here. The only thing I like is I'm finally getting some element bite. Okay, we're gonna send it. We'll focus on healing stuff off. Alright. That's what we're cooking with. Let's try and get all our tank perks on the same unit. I do think there's some perks in this game that are just universally phenomenal. One of those being like greater energy steal. I was watching another YouTuber. I guess I shouldn't really categorize myself as that. I'm just doing it for fun. ALM has much more official videos, but I think it's ALM plays or AIM plays. He's definitely like closer to endgame, but very interesting to see kind of his thoughts on some of the skills and which ones are better to keep breeding. And his feedback was greater energy steal is probably the most important or best in the mid game, and I would definitely agree with that. Like Blake going up the side and can just demolish a couple units at a time with that plus the killer. Alright, I would love to pop off here in the Frost tournament. Alright, I don't hate this because I'm gonna need more fire protection. That's just amazing. Concentrated crossbreed. So this is a free with no abomination, so I could just throw a ton of alterations on something. Because I'm not really breeding endgame tanks. And I am breeding a lot here. Let's just take a look and see what I can bring. So 3 monsters and a warrior. It's non-lethal. In this we could bring 4 of whatever I want. I kind of want this stone skin. Even if I hold it for a while, it just seems too good. Alright, boom, 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 and we get the monk. We are fighting all humans. Yeah, we got our human weapon. Yeah, that should be a free victory. Let's start out with a battle here. I want to pilot these guys. Ooh, hate this map. I mean, they're pretty much going to be able to just hang back there and pick me off, so I really just need to make this rush, which I don't love, but I don't have another choice. How far do I go up to not get targeted by everyone? Probably there. Nice, starting out strong, double miss. This should be a pretty easy combat, so I'm going to take kind of the combat opportunity to talk about other things, unless something really jumps in my head here that I need to explain what I'm doing. But I know that my brain, like, I really enjoy strategy games like this, where there's a lot of depth and complexity. Another series I have really enjoyed along the same lines is the Gloomhaven Frosthaven series. Started out as board games, and then now the Gloomhaven series is a full Steam game, along with they ended up making like a precursor game, Jaws of the Lion, and then they now are working on the Frosthaven, which is like the sequel And I love that game and style from a strategy standpoint. I would describe it as like D&D in terms of character and items, and it has some story, but also it's much more structured because you gotta pick based on the cards in your hand, so there's a lot of card management and manipulation of what card you want when. I just really enjoy that style of game. I've got a group of friends. We've been playing board games now for close to 2 years. We try and meet once a week to play strategy games like that. We made it all the way through Gloomhaven. Played Oathsworn, which was very fun. The story in Oathsworn was one of a kind. The combat wasn't my favorite, but a very similar style of like card-based, turn-based fighting. And now we're on to Frosthaven, so enjoying it a lot. I'm really excited to take a peek at that demo for the game. I haven't looked at it yet, but I would love to, and maybe start a series on something like that once the full game is out, if that's anything you guys would be interested in. Or, I mean, even at worst, if you're like, no way, Jose, I might still do it just because I absolutely love that game and it deserves some recognition. One other just quick talking thing. I realized I cannot find a list of all the subscriber names so far. I jotted down a few more I could still see within my last few weeks of YouTube notifications. But if you're like, man, why is he naming people after some of us and not others? I'm really just going on the recent ones I can see and then the people who are active in the chat. So I would love to keep having more naming ideas for our future generations. These next couple generations are really just for traits, so I'm not naming anyone after them. But then we're going to get back to breeding for strength. And so if you're like, yeah, I want a monster named after me, shoot a comment. I've never really pushed, dropping likes and comments, but it does help bump these videos up the algorithm. So if you have a second to do that or subscribe, it is greatly appreciated. If not, no pressure. Alright, pretty easy fight there. Done with the turn. I'm going to wait to finish my Altar of Vitality and then upgrade, just build like a blacksmith hut or something so I don't keep overwhelming the old keep. So that's kind of where we're at here. Abomination, illness, monster, caravan. Here we go. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Alright, let's peek at any good warriors. Sorry, we're back in the squeaky chair. I kind of want a two-hand warrior or another really good one-hand warrior. And here is my thought for that, because I can just buy fire and frost armor, and I can use these two warriors as my main tank units for the metals that require like the elements, like the fire and the frost for sure. So that is what I'm thinking. So I kind of want to see if we can get another warrior out of here somewhere. Pretty well rounded all around, nothing special. Okay, not bad with two-handed weapons. Not the greatest dodge. Pretty old, not very intelligent. Yeah. He hates fire, so not a great fit for my strategy. But pretty good one-hand parry. He does good damage with one-hand weapons. No one like overwhelmingly positive that I'm like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. Crusher, hybrid killer. That'd be nice. I've been facing a lot of hybrids lately. Armor-wise, since I still am pretty behind on making armor, I have 2 armors with frost protection. I would like to get some fire protection going. It's just expensive. I'm gonna drop pretty much 10 grand just on planning ahead. I don't think I want that. It's actually not that great and it's so expensive. But let's get another gauntlet of fire. So let's start out with something like this. Is there a better bow? Not particularly. That's not better. Man, we're just kind of stuck. Those OP weapons I got early were way too strong. I mean, not really, but they very much have made it so there hasn't been much for me to upgrade human-wise in a while. Fearless Flawless. Alright. I mean, I'm probably just going to instantly breed for traits there, but I'll keep running them. I really should pick one Tiger Bear. I'm wasting a lot of time picking both, so let's just see where they're at a second. And maybe just change the naming so I actually know who's who. Alright, so female Tiger Bear has fallen behind the male. So we will call him, I was thinking something cooler like Battle Tiger Bear, but we'll just say male. Then for breeding purposes, I don't have to guess. Fearless Flawless 25, you're gone. 700. Let's go. They love those abilities. And then we have this guy. Alright, little weak to frost, but we're finally getting some of those traits going. Love that. He is not alive very long, so for breeding purposes, I'm going to want to pop out some babies. This is probably the best the hyena's gonna do for me without fully leveling it back up. So I probably could just ditch the hyena at this point since I only have it for protector. Yeah, that seems a little mean, but I just gotta keep things organized for the sake of my brain. Similar story with Sapphire Beetle. I guess theoretically he could pass on better bite strength, but no matter what, it's going to be a low roll compared to whoever I'm breeding it with finally. Alright, we've got male roe, so let's breed. Let's try another chance between male roe and our tank. These should not need much of a crossbreed potion since they're both reptiles. That's only 31 side effect. Do I throw an alteration on this? Probably not my 99. %15 chance. That's not good odds since I'm only making 1 or 2. So I think I'm just gonna keep trying to pass on the poison resistance with this line. That'll make them a little abominated, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. This would low-key actually be a good one for the... oops, not making anything. For the spawning potion. Yeah, this would make a good one for the spawning potion, and let's do a couple of these. Alterations are usually hybrids. Nice, we can make some growth potions. These tanks are going to be reptiles. Stone skin, I think we have a few. And crossbreed, we'll just keep a few more hybrids. Alright, what do we care about this turn? Probably these, getting these earlier. I'm gonna wait one turn here. I'm gonna wait one turn just to give myself a better chance at more offspring there. Alright. Holy cow, are these guys alive a long time. So these were Fearless, Flawless, and what? What did I just breed with? Uh-oh, brain fart. I need some more coffee this morning. Oh. It was Furry Protector and Female Row. So it was another tank. So I've got 2 lines of tank units coming out. Okay. So let me quick come here. And our goal would be P Fury Sweep. That's a ridiculous name, but that at least lets me know what the max is. These are junk. He looks cool. And then we've got our cell. Alright, we kind of know what's going on now. So these are worth investing in at least a little bit. They are starting off pretty abominated on me. But we kind of knew that was the case. Are these are not fully reptiles. These are hybrids technically. Okay, then let's flip that. No, we're good like this because we have to set up this yet. So these are my tank units, so we want them to be strong for the sake of tail sweep, healthy, and let's see, more endurance is more action points. So let's do something like that. These guys, I don't believe have any, and they're alive so long they should tame naturally. If they do have elements, I'll try and juice it, but I don't think they will. Alright, so Abomination Illness is going to jump 10, heal off, and then we're going to make it bigger, and then we got to heal it off. Something like that. Meat-wise, let's just make these absolutely amazing against reptiles. Alright, Your turn. Copy and paste. I actually have quite a few reptiles. So we need to get one of these hybrids up this turn. And we need another hybrid next turn. Something like that. That'll keep the lads busy. Alright, let's go manage this again a second. I'm going to steal this second one back. And I'm going to give it to you. Alright, something like that. And let's just see what we get. These are not going to be very strong units, but I'm just going for traits. Alright, that was a lot of base management. Sorcerer Apprentice. How good's that apprentice? Guido's still my best. I wish I could know how close he was to 21. Problem is I gotta hire a blacksmith and then I'm stuck with that crappy blacksmith for a while. It might just be time to do it because I don't know for sure if you have to have an apprentice hired before you can then hire them fully. These guys are all terrible. Okay, minimum turn 6. I'm assuming that's 6 months. So let's just try and hire this crappy guy. Come on, old man. Let's get your retirement fund going. And then we want Guido because he's actually good. And then base, we're going to need more beds because someone's sleeping in the yard right now. We need 2 more beds. That should do it. Alright. We got there. Blacksmith. I mean, you can't make me anything worthwhile, so we're chilling. Other than trying to get Guido. And even that's kind of a long con. Are these better? No. Okay, that's super good. And it's worth money. Hybrid's Wrath, let's do it. Hybrid versus hybrid. This should be a sweep because we have some really good hybrids. They've got a few good traits, but we're looking pretty strong. Flawless, fearless, yeah. Alright, let's run it. Victory, we're just going to do an auto fight so we can keep going. Alright, at least we got some levels. Some of our guys got to be pretty close to getting maxed. Okay, Carmen's getting close. Element guy. Nice, he's getting bite strength up finally. Fearless, flawless. Alright, so in terms of traits, just traits, don't care about leveling up. Wild Boar. Charge is a little underwhelming, but not terrible. But Bleeding Wound, I mean, I know it's not much damage, but it's still just free damage for every hit. So I do think I gotta get Bleeding Wound on something. And then Green Ant, I should also try and get Fearless Aura in my flanking units. Blake's gotta be about maxed to breed something. Oh, we're one away. I gotta start writing down these breeding plans. So Ice Breath is not bad. I love the Frost Protection, but I don't want to pass on that Fire weakness. So what do I want to do? The problem is I almost have to wait for like each generation to then keep breeding stuff. And right now we're kind of stuck. We're stuck in terms of the tank units because they're breeding so slow for Tail Sweep. So I gotta focus on what I want to get into the flanking units. And I think just giving them free offense and defense along with being fearless into a guy that already has very high bite strength would be good. Alright, so Blake's at 54. Carmen's at 82. That's insane. And Thomas is 71 with greater lifesteal. Okay, so this might be... Okay, and I've got good life left on all these to keep breeding. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna breed my best two, Carmen and Thomas. Best in terms of like bite strength. No. We still want Blake because Blake has greater energy. That's my most important trait to keep breeding. So let's do Blake with elements. No. And my greater lifesteal's on a female. Shoot. Alright, I think I do these two first once we're maxed, and then breed that offspring with... No, I gotta do Blake first because the bite strength. I don't want to breed up the bite strength to then breed it back down. So let's just do Blake and all these traits. Not gonna have the greatest bite strength, but should be an absolute trait beast. And then we should be able to breed this, hopefully with the combo of our others. Alright, let's look at these ranges a sec. So good litter size, lifespan's mediocre, but at least gives me time to level them up. Very agile. I don't love that the frost protection's negative, but that's okay. Really good chance of getting those fears low. I love that. I hope I roll some of those at the lowest they can be. Is this worth throwing in an alteration? Maybe just a weak one? there we go. That'll be a good offspring. We've done everything else we can do. Okay, got the shrine built. Base management. Let's get some lodging going. Just wanted to peek at how he turned out. Not great. Cool boy. I just like the way he looks. We're keeping him for now. Not that I am breeding for looks by any means. I'm not that vain. But I do just think he looks sweet. Alright. We've got some juveniles to play with a second here now. Some very important ones. So he's P Fury. These are going to be Fearless Flawless / Killer. Of course, there's a few more traits, but that's kind of the goal. / Energy Steal. We got all kinds. We're trying to get in those. Yikes. Alright. We're not going to roll well. I feel it already, but I'm going to stay optimistic here. So these guys are already super agile, so let's give them more endurance and more energy to keep up with their agility they already have. Purify them. 4 turns, 20 a turn. We'll get close to taming. We'll get close to taming. If they all have 3 to 4 food spots, they all have 3. 3 times 5 is 15, so let's just finish out the reptile meat we have. We're going to let them tick up on abomination and then heal it off. Those are all reptiles now. Perfect for these guys. So we're going to need some more hybrids. Okay. There's a couple. I do want that growth potion. And I wanted one of these potions for the tank. Male row, female tank. This was my better combo of the two. So let's go all in here. No, that doesn't even boost it. It's still 1 to 3. Come on. These take so long to breed. I don't know that this is even worth it, but we'll do something like that. That'll at least keep a little poison resistance going. Alright, goal here would be very healthy, very physically defensive tank units. We're going to give this breed another try, and then we will do the opposites with the row and tank if we have to. But I'd love to keep things going. Feel like we kind of got stuck there just going for tail sweep in something, and they breed so slow. We've been at it forever. Alright. Good, good, good. So we're at agility or movement. Let's start making movement cheaper. Carmen's getting close. Male, getting there. Alright, Blake is max other than these skills, which are still really important for a flanking unit. I'm gonna say max for the purposes of breeding. That'll kind of be how I continue to name for breeding purposes, since that's what I really care about maxing out. For combat, I still bring max guys here and there. Alright, red leg larva, let's do it. Let's bring something, a couple things with killer, and a couple archers, and Merlin should be great for red legs. Oop, Carmen's starting off in the lead. This round's over. Need to put like fire on one of these archers. I don't know who's who without clicking on them. One guy moved up. Murder. Alright, one over there, so we got one in every direction. Alright, Carmen's just gonna go solo dolo. We're gonna start curling this way. Carmen doesn't miss. And we might need a little support on the elemental guy, but I doubt it. So we'll send two that way. Oh, there's two more down this tunnel. Nice. Alright. Merlin, you're kind of useless. I'm a little underwhelmed by the mages. I mean, maybe... You know, I don't think they're supposed to be damage at all. Like, that's the role of the archers. So maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I think I gotta keep hyper investing in the mana skills and not the actual, like magic staff attack. Oh no, Merlin took damage, 4-volt damage, dead. Alright, I think it's time for a new expedition. So, in my mind, there's kind of 6, we'll say, unique or like rare beasts, right? Because you can go all the way northeast, northwest. I'm assuming that the island's the same way, that there'll be a fork at some point, and I'm assuming the south is the same. Like, it kind of looks like down left is swampy, down right is volcano. I want to go south here, assuming that I'm going to get the fire vulture, giant insects, fire-breathing creatures. Nice. I'm going to go south here, assuming that I'm going to get something with fire, because I would love to breed something with fire protection and fire bite with tiger bear to try and pass on both elements and both resistances. It seems like a really good way. And then at that point, no matter what the traits are, I could breed the resistances onto tank units to really keep helping with the elements, because I have no elemental protection right now. Alright, we did all our eggs. The red legs we don't care about. I didn't copy and paste these, did I? Nope. And that's because I got distracted looking for potions of cure for hybrids. So let's go finish this right now. Let's at least get one a potion of cure. And then we will slow play these guys. So we're going to need a lot more potions of cure before 4 turns. That should be fine. And then we will save. This should be my new strongest tank offspring, so we will save the... do we save those, like, strength growth potions I just crafted, or do I give them to these, because they're pretty much just breeding, but they might be able to pass on. Alright, I think we do it, because these theoretically would have 3 good traits to pass on. Alright, I think we are good other than the Frozen Storm. Can we do Champions of the Frozen Storm? I do not think so. 11, 9, 9, 8, 8, 8. 40s and 50s, so we are there bite strength wise. But they are doing a ton of frostbite too, and I don't really have resistance for that. So I think unfortunately this is still an L. He's pretty cool. I like his, not to be creepy, but I like his skin. Spiny skin, dodge arrows, webbing, fire spit. So he's at about 100 bite total. Alright, I don't think we're quite there. I am going to need some money now that I sent out an expedition, so it might just be mandibles and claws, but I don't really want to do 6 mammals. I think I could win this one. Less than 8. Psych. I was really hoping Thomas or Carmen or Element or one of those guys was less than 8, but that's okay. That just means we're not doing that. What is regenerate? That sounds sweet. I don't know that that's worth it. Druids, what do we got? 4 monsters and an archer versus all these guys. Yeah, this should be pretty easy because there's no level cap on my monster. Alright. Gotta send the good archer. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Monster-wise, Blake is maxed and I just bred him. I would hate to lose Thomas here because he's my only one with lifesteal. Carmen I don't think is dying. Carmen's an absolute unit. Do I do element or do I just do a couple of max? I could even bring either of these. Oh, I forgot I still have the cave arachnid. I could maybe breed this with the tiger bear. I think I'm just gonna bring all my best units and just try and support whoever's weakest with the archer. Okay, this is working out in our favor. We have this map. So blitz you up. We can still get off a quick shot. I doubt it hits. Okay, odds are in our favor. I'm really gonna kind of slow play this to kill everything I can before it gets to me. Carmen is probably my stronger one to blitz their mage, so let's do something like that. Alright, here we go. Big turn here. 50% quick shots, 80%. Yeah, we want 80. We're not going to die to two-handed guys again. We learned our lesson. And then let's just protect you here. And let's keep you out of the way. He should only be able to move 3. Alright, we should be safe there for a blitz next turn. We'll go up one more. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Screw it. No. Okay. Alright, we should now be in quick shot. Look at how short he is. How do I not have line of sight? Let me see if I can just get this kill. Okay, good. We'll move up 1. Kind of set up a flank if I need it. Quick shots, we should have good odds to just murder someone. 4 shots this turn? That's insane. Alright, we will move up. We're looking good. We can survive 1 turn. We're going to move up here. That's alright. And let's keep slow playing this side. 1 more turn. Weak healing potion. You screwed. Is this unseen? Not quite. Should have kind of flanked him a little bit. Murder. Can't get a bite off anymore. Oh, 40 damage. Okay, Carmen, pop off. Alright, that was a good one. Lots of money to keep funding our expedition. We did get a new blacksmith. After, of course, we finally make the decision to bite the bullet. He's not much better. Alright, I think we're looking pretty good. On to the next turn. What are we coming up to? November? Spiderworm. Let's see what we got. Alright, anything with killer is phenomenal. So let's just bring those 2. Thomas I would like to keep leveling up as well. We'll bring him just in case. The format or the layout kind of allows me to, but no, this is a one-way funnel. Alright. I guess we're just going to see how many kills in a row we can get with Carmen. Slash the archer. Because now with that insectoid bonus, we're just murdering things. Alright, and let's go Thomas that way. Fear, come on. Alright, we'll let him get that kill. We'll slow down. Can I hit the back guy? Okay, maybe a double kill next turn. And we'll send Archer in for backup, even though we don't need it. And Element, you're chilling. These guys are pretty cool looking. I wonder if they have a trait. Well, we learned the hard way that Archer's just going to one-shot everything. So maybe we do a quick shot. Still too much. Alright. I drop. Nice. Move up. Move up. Clear on that side. And whatever. Carmen's fine. I think I'm just going to end it. Alright. Nice, quick, easy dub. This game did add an encyclopedia. So let's look here. Insect species. Ooh, giant wasp. That's pretty sweet. Swampland, so that might be down left. Fly? Oh, I like that. Maybe they can't get hit by certain things. This is what I just got. Energy leech. So they might actually like suck some energy back to them. Interesting. Alright, Southern Expedition. Let's make sure to keep exploring. I kind of want to get the fire stuff going. So we're going to go to the volcanoes. We're doing okay financially. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Male tiger bear's better. The next couple ones don't super matter. I guess we'll keep leveling up Gilo for fun. I don't know. I mean, I see the benefit of spiny skin, but unless you have total spininess, it's kind of a bust. Which means I need multiple people with spiny skin over 100, which means I'm just breeding Gilos together who are very slow. So like I see the potential, I just think it's so slow. Okay, those would help later on, and it's worth a lot of money. But I want to keep getting the elemental stuff. So 4 hybrids. Non-lethal, let's send it. Carmen, element. This should be an easy dub, and we're about at an hour, so I'm just going to auto it. Okay, that was a good quick turn. I'm going to quick do some levels here, and maybe a little base management, figuring out what the next breed is, but I think we're going to call that an episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If I have another chance to stream tonight, I might drop this as a quick bonus episode this weekend. If I don't carve out a little more time today, then it'll be up Monday for you. Hope you guys had a great weekend, and see you again in the next video.